Afternoon, Tri-Bar team. This is Joe at Jag Digital. Hey, thanks for the feedback. I wanted just to point out a couple of things. It's funny that James refers to it as rustic stripes, okay, two times, and so I get it. And then I like what you're thinking about the hyphen, Barbara. So thanks for the feedback. Let's take a look at it in real life. So, hey, just a small side note. This takes forever to load. I think I mentioned that in the first video. I did put in a live property that's actually listed. The address itself, it didn't find it. And then I put in the MLS number, still didn't find it. So hopefully you didn't lose any business with that darn thing being there. But look at the original logo. The original logo is not a high resolution. It's not a file that we would have probably used for the website. When you build a logo, you typically will build a font with it or whichever you pulled from libraries, and then a color palette. And then if you register it, everybody can find it. Sometimes the designers don't, so they could stay exclusive. But when they go out of business or it's been a long time ago, we have what we have. We're having to build a whole new logo. So reiteration of an original file like Vector or Adobe Illustrator, we can recreate it, reiterate it, and it's included in the build. But to make a new one is going to be like 500. That's our minimum, and I wouldn't charge you guys any more than that. So now I've got a dedicated designer, the real software, and the back and forth till we get it down. My recommendation is to keep it similar to the old one, so you don't have to do a lot of reprint. Hopefully if there's shirts, hats, or anything else, it's pretty close. But to key in on what was said about stripes or strike, the tri-bar, it looks like a New Times Roman, but it's not. We did a scan. And then to create that to be swooshy a little bit with some movement than just a straight line, that's one design and then another design. So we're looking for this font, unable to find it, so we can get really close. These stripes, if you notice them, they look darker, richer in black color than the actual name tri-bar. Just leading to that background is really muddy. The reason why we had some renditions of white on copper, there is something called night mode on mobile phones and especially iPads today, and even desktops are doing it now. So we have to have a white letter version because all the background's going to go black at nighttime, and they're not going to see the name. So this is the reason why that high quality resolution and image from the get-go is so important because of the end user out there. We have to make it fit the functionality. So here's what one designer said. What does a cat claw, a claw strike have to do with tri-bar? One of the guys said, hey, it looks like a sideways monster drink, right? One of the girls said it looks like a paint stroke across rough texture, like a rock or granite or something. Another one said fountain ink pen across some antique rough paper. So everybody's looking at it as a strike or a stripe, but nothing with the connotation of bar. So I know what that was there for. I threw out, doesn't that look like barbed wire? And, I'm an old Fort Worth country boy, and they're like, no. So, right. So anyway, I just think the relativity of this needs to match, right? This looks granular to me, probably because they're trying to make it look like a fabric or a texture. And I'll be honest with you, that might have been a patch. That's not intended for the use of here. And the reason why, you go to Google My Business search, you can't make that out. And if I was on a mobile phone, you for sure couldn't make that out. So see, that's the quality of that. And then it's got to invert to black mode. So we'll continue and we can get something done. My recommendation is to make sure that it stays pretty close to the same, so you can keep your costs down as far as reproducing any stationary business cards, those kinds of things. But the messaging's not matching. And then if I go into the site, right, there's no hyphen anywhere on tri-bar. Kind of ironic, right? Just kind of weird. So we need that to be on there. Let's see, if I just go to staff, I don't think there's the name. Yeah, that we're back to that. But see, tri-bar is hyphenated here, but the fonts are not the same. So typically the flow in the design is the color palette of the color logo and the font style of the logo. is where that would need to come from. Once we load that into the control tools of the site, wherever we're building whatever section we are, we just pull and click from the color palette and or the font style in that fashioner mode, because then we'll know it'll transcend all user interfaces and show up right. So that's the key there. So we'll move forward and get something built, because I would not recommend using this moving forward. Not trying to gouge anybody for more money, but it's just not going to be the quality that it won't look good on the site we're building, because it's going to look out of place. So anyway, we've got most of everything on the home page, and all the other pages starting to line up a little bit. We got bulk structure going in. We'll get on a call next week to kind of go through some finer things on the design. But I like the 3 boxes, right? Selling your home, might, considering selling as is, or, right? Or something else in that, I think would need to be added. That goes to Swift, right? Or to you guys. So might be a split there. Like they click on this, they go to another section that says as is or realtor, right? Needed. So then you go over here, searching for a home, right? So that'll go either Swift or you guys. Then this one will go to a property search in your normal queues and in your staff. And then over here, need help, that will actually split up from this button, right? And you click this one and you go to two parts. It's owner portal, right page, or the tenant with all of the things that are necessary there. And then in other places, we would put, need assistance, getting pre-qualified or financing, other ways to get people's attention on it. When they click that, they'll get to that information. So it'll be pretty nice and smooth. We were able to capture these images and pull over this content. So that's the good news. Anyway, looking forward to our call next week. Give me a thumbs up on the logo idea so I can get someone dedicated and get busy creating that as close as possible to the original. The rustic feel, but with the ability to do what it's supposed to do for us. Okay, thanks.